Once upon a time there was a peaceful village surrounded by green fields. The people of this village were simple and kind-hearted. During the day, farmers worked in the fields, and in the evenings everyone gathered together, sharing laughter and stories. It seemed that in this village, there was no sorrow, no hardship, only peace and love. But one day, a dark shadow fell upon the village. A terrifying plague began to spread. At first, a few villagers fell ill with fever and died. Then, day after day, more and more people became sick, and within days they too were gone. Silence fell over the village. The once lively streets were now filled only with cries of grief and the echoes of death. The birds no longer sang, and at night, there was nothing but the sound of mourning and the howling of stray dogs. In this terrible plague, an entire family was wiped out, except for a mother and her little son. No father, no brothers, no sisters, no relatives left. In their small hut remained only shadows of death and the crushing weight of loneliness. The boy thought at least his mother would stay with him, would give him strength. But fate was crueler than he imagined. His mother too became infected. It was night. The whole village lay in darkness. The thin moonlight above brought no comfort. Instead, it deepened the fear. Suddenly, the weak voice of his mother called out, "Son, bring me some water." The boy rushed to the jar. His tiny hands trembled, his tears mixing with the drops of water he carried back. But when he returned, he found his mother lying still. Her lips were dry, her eyes half open, and in those eyes remained forever a look of sorrow, pain, and helplessness. The boy cried out in despair. In that moment, it felt as though his entire world had collapsed. One was left to comfort him. No one was there to place a hand on his head. That night was the darkest night of his life. He did not know if the sun would ever rise again in this cursed village. Looked at his mother's lifeless body and broke down in tears. His sobs shook the silence of the night. With eyes full of tears and a heart full of emptiness, he stepped outside. The moonlight revealed a village turned into a graveyard. The boy walked slowly down the empty path, not knowing where he was going. Around him was only silence, only death. Then, in the distance, he saw a shadow move. It felt as if someone was calling him. But was it a human voice or the shadow of the plague itself? He could not tell. The boy stopped. He wiped his eyes and looked ahead, his face a mixture of fear and curiosity. And then, the sound of the wind roared, mixing with his broken sobs. But suddenly, through the darkness, flickering torches appeared in the distance. A group of brave villagers emerged. They were the ones who had not run away in fear, but instead risked their own lives to search for the sick. They came to the boy. One of them placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "Do not be afraid, son. We are here." The boy buried his face in their arms and cried, but this time, his tears carried with them a spark of hope. Some of the villagers sacrificed their own lives, but because of their courage, others, including the little boy, survived. Slowly, dawn arrived, the darkness lifted. The sun rose once again. The boy realized, yes, there are still good people in this world. Yes, there is still light, and so, even in the shadow of death, a new hope for life was born.